Welcome to Wild X. This is Rhonda Swan. I am so excited to have you here today. Wild X is a platform for speakers to not only share their voice, their message, but to inspire the world.
Kim Witczak is up next. She is a drug safety advocate. She's a global speaker. So I'm actually just going to let her tell her story.
What if grief and suffering was something not to be fixed? What if it's the fire that we have to walk through in order to get to the other side, to fully awaken? We have become a society afraid to feel. You know, I was once there. I got blindsided and thrown into the fire. And I had to question everything that I thought was true, wondering if I would ever come back to being whole again. 1 in 5 Americans take a psychiatric drug every single day. Are we medicating illness? Or are we medicating our courage to feel what it means to be human? You know, we've been conditioned to believe that sadness, grief, anxiety is something to be fixed. But what if it's actually our teacher? Instead, we numb it. We relationship it, we scroll it, we medicate it. I mean, how many here haven't done any of those three? I mean, I'm guilty. But what if the exact same thing that we're trying to escape is actually our greatest teacher? And my greatest teacher came to me in a form of a phone call I never expected to receive. It was like a hot August summer day. I was out of town on a big BMW production, doing work that I loved. I had a husband that married to my best friend, and we were planning to start a family. My life was going exactly as I had planned it. Then my phone rings, and just like that, my world split in two. What? He's dead? My husband, suicide, out of nowhere. 5 weeks after being prescribed an antidepressant for sleep, not depression. No warning, no note, no goodbye, just gone. And in that second, my entire world fell apart. And I didn't know how I was ever going to put it back together again. What happened from there, I didn't know the heart was capable of holding a pain like that. I cried tears that I didn't know, I had no more tears left to cry. And honestly, I forgot how to breathe. So I had to teach myself how to breathe again. And in one of the darkest moments of my night, I cried a prayer. God, take my pain and use it. It does me no good. Now that prayer didn't fix my heartache right then, but it did plant a seed. And I started asking questions. Was it the drug? Why wasn't Woody warned? Were there others? Who knew what when? Now, those questions did not bring comfort, but they brought fire. Fire for truth, for justice, and for Woody. So went to places I never imagined going. I went to Washington, D.C., the FDA, Congress. I sued the largest drug company in the world, Pfizer. And I helped get black box suicide warnings added to antidepressants, the exact same warnings that might have saved my husband's life. And you know what? That was 13 years after the FDA first had hearings in 1991 and did nothing. How many lives were destroyed between then and when my husband? You see, I wasn't always a warrior. I became her. I was the little girl, the one who sat in the corner, was afraid to challenge authority, didn't ask questions because I didn't raise my hand because I was afraid. I was afraid of being wrong or being laughed at. That girl didn't think her voice mattered. She swallowed her pain. What came from there is what I started to realize is that there is the power that healed me. I realized my advocacy is what helped me heal. It also helped me find a place for my pain to go. And to this day, I actually sit on the FDA, the committee, the same one that in 1991 didn't do their job. I now get to be the voice for people like you who are the unsuspecting public. And let me tell you, Big Pharma and the system is not out to heal us. So I say that, and I'm going to say, I only say, thank you. But you know what I realized through this whole thing? Wait, the fire that I walked through was actually the recipe for my healing. Fire, faith, intuition, resilience, and energy. Faith. Faith is showing up when you don't see the path. It's trusting in the path. You know, when we were getting ready to throw out Woody's ashes in the middle of Lake Michigan, out of nowhere, a red Bible floated by us. And in that moment, I knew there was a higher power that was going to carry me and carries all of us when we can't carry ourselves. I for intuition. Intuition's that small, still voice that lives inside of us. It's our soul. When the doctor wanted to give me an antidepressant for insomnia or for grief, I said, what? Aren't I supposed to feel? And that drug's not bringing him back. That whisper became my compass. And E for energy. And that is emotions. When we stuff our emotions down, they actually cause more disease. And they cause more pain. But when our emotions are meant to move. And studies back this up. One study says just 15 minutes of writing your story or speaking your story actually lowers your stress and depression. Harvard says you move, is it up to date? You move, and that actually changes the brain. And it creates a feel-good chemistry and creates new brain neural pathways. You see, Every one of us is going to go through our own version of fire. Grief, pain, betrayal. We don't get to choose what happens to us, but we do get to choose what we do with it. Our thoughts, our actions, those are ours. I mean, you know, medicating and that numbing it in the beginning maybe is a survival, but actually feeling is how you get your life back. We don't become strong by numbing it. We become strong by facing it, walking through it. And I'm telling you, that call that came 22 years ago, I thought that was the end. And I can now say it was my beginning. It was my greatest teacher. That's where I learned and found my purpose, my power, and my voice. And when you find your voice, that is power. And so, all of us, if you are going through a dark time right now, or if you know somebody else that is, don't rush to escape it. Sit with it. Feel it. Create with it. Move with it. Because motion is medicine, as I say. Because if you if you keep choosing, question it. You can question it, and when you come back, doesn't mean you have to have all the answers. You just have to make the decision to keep going, one breath, one step, one moment at a time. And you might just find on the other side of your suffering and your grief that that was your greatest teacher. I know it was mine. Thank you.